It's Lego City update o'clock, folks, and goodness me, has a lot changed since the last video, which I think was only about a week ago. But I've been a busy boy. Let's have a little look around at what's been going on in the Lego City. So first and probably most noticeable is the beach is slowly beginning. I mean, this is certainly nowhere near how the beach is actually going to end up being, but you can see I've actually got the areas marked out now where we're going to have sea, beach, our little promenade boardwalk area, and then up here this is where we'll have the funfair. You can see we've got the new train track in. That spot there is where the new Bricklink designer program train station is going to be when that arrives later in the year. And yeah, this whole end of the room is looking very different from how it did on the last video. You can see we've made a start on some designs for retaining walls. I've got a whole load of pick a brick, which you saw me get in the 1st of July video, just loads of grey brick to work on these wall designs. These ones are certainly a little bit flimsy and a little bit wobbly, so I don't think they're final designs by any stretch. And as you can see, that guy gets decapitated taking pictures of the beach as he goes through. So we definitely need to figure that out a little bit better and certainly work out on a better way for it to attach to the road as well. So ideas and suggestions for how to do retaining walls, very much welcome. And I think the walls are probably going to go all the way along on the back of the promenade area. But as you can see, we have added in this little kind of mini raised platform that has a little staircase on the front. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to integrate that into the road that's right next to it. We might move it along a little bit and put a little pavement pedestrian area in. It's all very much work in progress and figuring it out as we go. Nothing is permanent at the moment, which is why I'm not really detailing anything. We've just got these multicolored bricks holding up the platform. But my general plan is that we'll have the promenade and boardwalk area, which is going to have a number of different shops and things on it. So we've got a little Lego City ice cream shop that's going to go in. We've got a few of these custom sets that I ordered from One More Brick. So we've got a little beach bar. We've got a little surf shop. We've got a few of these rides that'll actually probably move up onto the top area if they stay in the city, because this is where the theme park slash. So I think we need to stop saying theme park and start saying seaside funfair, because that's much more like what it's going to be. The carousel is definitely the kind of thing we're going to be having, more so than like the loop coaster. But we're going to have a selection of like typical British seaside stuff is going to be there, kind of underneath here. I'm thinking we kind of build it into the background and then kind of embedded into the wall to give us the boardwalk area to walk on still. So ice cream shop, bar, arcade maybe, chip shop maybe. Goodness me, have I had hassle trying to find any kind of British fish and chip shop, seaside fish and chip shop. From what I can tell, Lego have never made one. I did manage to find one set from 1980, which was an old 1980s like town centre that had a fish and chip shop in so much as it was a yellow building with a fish and chip shop sticker on it. So I've ordered a replacement sticker sheet for that set. So I've got a fish and chip shop sticker coming. I've also done a design for like a brick built chip shop sign. My first experience of Bricklink Studio, and I've ordered the parts for that. They're not here yet. So we should be able to get a fish and chip shop in, but it's going to have to be my first proper mock because they don't exist. I can't even find a good rebrickable or design for a seaside fish and chip shop. So I think I'm going to have to go it alone, because I want this to look like a British seaside, not an American beach resort, a British seaside. So I'm thinking like an ice cream shop, a Weatherspoons. That's not quite a Weatherspoons, but like a pub, a chip shop, an arcade, but not an American style arcade, a British arcade full of 2p machines and those claw grabbing machines, and maybe a sea life centre. Just the kind of stuff you get at the seaside. Maybe even a pier coming out here at some point. Lots of ideas to try and make it as British looking as possible. And then we might maybe have the wall extend along, or we maybe have a cliffside. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure how we integrate the lighthouse into that. I think it's definitely going to have to come off the base plate that it's on, because at the moment it's surrounded by water. So unless we have the sea kind of come around here at an angle, that's not going to be water. Although I guess if this is a raised platform thing here, we could potentially have the sea kind of come across diagonally and go under it, and then have more beach here and the sea kind of go diagonally, and that will probably allow us to integrate better in over here as well. We could have a little bit of, even bring the boardwalk round a little bit further along there, and then have the sand go across diagonally. Lots of things to play with. I've got some sand coloured plate on the way from Bricklink, so I'll be able to have a proper play around with that when it's not just big square base plates, but I need to figure out how to integrate that. I don't want to have it further forward where the sea is, because if it's here, I'm going to constantly knock it when I'm sat at the table. So plus it would be in the way of the fan. So the lighthouse kind of needs to be there. I just need to work out how to integrate it. And one of the ideas was getting a load of rock face. You can see I've got loads of these big ugly rock pieces. I've got a big bag of them, which could potentially form a cliffside kind of thing. I'm not sure. It's all very much in the ideas process. I've also made a few seasidey sets to start going on the beach as well. So we've got the one that I made when I was in Lanzarote, the little, I think that's a retired set. Then we've got the current beach set, which is these two little cabins and the camper van, which is quite cool. It's got the little ducky boat on top. I've also got the Bricklink designer program snack shack, which fits on the beach perfectly. We built that on this month's members stream. So that's quite a cool set, but it might even end up moving up onto the top there. I'm not settled on that as a final placement for it yet. And then we move up onto the top, where we've not done very much at all yet, other than kind of carve out an area and start putting in the second train track. You can see it is in there. This spot here is where the Bricklink train station is going to go. And the way that station is designed, the track runs behind it. So we needed a track running at the back of the layout, so we can have the station here, and then the rest of this area is going to be rides and like amusement park stuff. I'm actually thinking of maybe moving the Lego store over here, half size the Lego store, because it is a little bit big and unwieldy. There is another rebrickable where we can have it half the size of that on half a base plate, so we might halve that and put it in next to the Sanctum Sanctorum, or next to where the train station is going to be, and then try and fit in a Ferris wheel and a small roller coaster and a few of the Legoland bits and pieces, and just make this a whole funfair area. We're not having roads on the top layer now. You can see I have extended these base plates out. There's not actually anything under this supporting it. The platform goes to there, so half of that base plate is unsupported, so we need to Mills plate them and then get some supports underneath, just some like little Lego or maybe even Duplo columns, just supporting that all the way out, and then have the retaining wall go against it. That's all my grey brick in there. And you can see the train track runs all the way around in the corner. I've temporarily taken out the gap that I'd left for the X-Men mansion that's coming out in November, because I don't know how big it's going to be. But when the time comes, we can either shove the Marvel stuff that way or shove the modulars that way and squeeze it into that corner. Definitely that corner is my plan. And I think some of that empty space where the train track goes through in that corner, I think I'm going to be moving the construction zone over there, so it looks like that area is like forever under construction and it doesn't take up loads of space. But these areas in front of the modulars, this full base plate area, we might continue the theme park on a little bit. We might have a big Avengers style battle. My thinking of the story of this area is that the Avengers modulars are part of the theme park. We're not actually living in a world where there's loads of superheroes knocking around the city. These are part of the attraction, and the superheroes are effectively like your equivalent of Disneyland cast members. So I don't mind the Marvel stuff being integrated within the theme park stuff. We might even move the Sanctum Sanctorum down next to the train station and really try and integrate it and just make this whole area almost like an Avengers themed theme park, which I think will be quite cool. And then along here, we're just going to have all of our modulars. You can see we've got the new, well, it's not new, but new to me, police station is now in. None of these placements are finally settled, and we definitely need to decide what colour the pavements are going to be for the city and even them out. But the modulars will now be here. So there's the gap behind where the trains are going to be. I ran out of train plates. I have built a load more. So they will be going in around there, and that train track will run all the way to that end. I need to finish that job today. But we've got the Lego store, which again might move. We've also put the Sesame Street corner modular in. that I spent so long at brick festivals trying to find out. It looks very, very cool. There are some parts of it that could potentially be replaced with other bits and bobs. Like, I don't like the big green bit on the roof, so I think we might have to replace that out with grey. There's so many parts that are left over, by the way. We got 2 Sesame Street sets, plus about 100 parts off of Pick-a-Brick to finish it off, and all of this is all of the stuff that was left over. There's so much there, so much left over. So, I mean, we could potentially use these plates on the roof. I don't know why the set in general didn't use them. And of course, we've got another complete set of the minifigs as well. So we might come up with a plan for something to do with them. But I like the way that corner is set up now. We'll have the wall coming across there and have a little bit of space next to it. But I wanted to have a nice corner building in there. And I think, again, if we're considering this the theme park and entertainment area, having Sesame Street with the Sesame Street minifigs out the front kind of feeds into the whole, this is the silly area, this is the theme park area, and there'll eventually be like a staircase here or maybe here that leads up to the top area and kind of integrates this whole area in together. And then you've just got what will be the tram line and the roads disappearing underneath it in the tunnels. So that's the plan. There'll be pedestrian areas all the way along here in front of all of the modulars. There'll be the odd cut through between modulars, little gaps where you can see the train as it goes by, because the train is actually, this train is going to move up onto the top level and just shuttle back and forth using the pie brick stuff that we looked at in the previous video. On a like random interval thing. Lots of people suggested putting that on random intervals, and it's a great idea, so we're definitely going to be doing that. And then on the bottom level, it's going to be the new tram set that comes out in August, because it's embedded into the road. It's got to be a tram. And then the long term plan, once we've got all of this done, and this is months worth of work I'm describing here. This is very much a information dump of everything I'm planning to do for the city over the next several months. But once we've got all this set up with the walls in, with the train tracks in, the beach and the theme park all done, the pedestrian zone all done, the next stage now is where we've got the train track running behind, eventually put another platform similar to this one over the top of it, so the train's effectively running in a tunnel most of the time, other than in the gaps where you can see it. But everywhere where there's a modular, behind that there'll be a raised platform, and on there we can put some mini modulars, some facades, and basically make it look like there's another row of buildings behind these buildings and fill up the rest of this white space. So I think it's all going to look very, very cool, and the modulars this whole design will continue all the way along to the end there, and I'm actually going to extend this out over all the way to the wall, so the tunnel at this end where the train disappears or the tram disappears will be here, and this will continue all the way along. At the moment we've got a little bit of a campsite in this corner, which I don't think is going to be staying, and a few bits that we've kind of dumped down here, and a very temporary train station and food court area, which again is going to need a lot of work when we get down to this end. But yeah, there's lots going on. I've even started having a little bit of a fiddle around with the shelves and start putting some display stuff on here. So you can see we've got a Minecraft shelf, temporary storage for modulars. I'm not sure what to do with shelf. As much as I love the modern beach house, the plan I've got at the moment, I don't think it fits in. So it might just stay up there for now, or be repurposed into something that can maybe fit into the rest of the city somewhere. Likewise with the underground station, as much as I love it, I don't know where I can fit it in. And then I've brought all my Animal Crossing stuff up from downstairs because I think it just looks quite cool. Again, fitting in with the whole idea of this is where you've got all of your characters, having the Animal Crossing world over there. We could potentially even put some kind of staircase in, linking it into the rest of the world, and make it look like that's an extension of the theme park, and that's like the Animal Crossing area. And then we've got the Avengers area, and it's like a gaming theme park. We've got the Minecraft stuff as well, which could squeeze in. So bottom line, lots of ideas. I've never made a video like this one before, which is just an absolute Lego City info dump. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this kind of video. I know there's probably an argument that I could have brought you along with me when I was doing stuff like building the Sesame Street building or putting together the train tracks and show you the process as it goes. If I'd have done that, this video wouldn't have been out this week, because doing that makes that whole process take a lot longer. And I've been working on the city pretty solidly for the last 2 days just to get it to the point where I could show you the plan now, because I'm I've had this layout in my head for a couple of weeks and just needed to be able to show it to you. So like I say, with all the content on the channel, it's always going to be a mixture of lots of different types of video. And I think there is certainly a place from time to time for me to just give you effectively a tour of the city as it currently stands, show you what the situation is, and talk about what we're planning on doing next. So hopefully you don't mind the lack of actually doing something in this video. My plan now, while this video is rendering, is get the rest of this train track in that I've finished doing, and then I guess make a start on getting some rides in up there. I'm waiting for a bricklink order for the beach. I'm waiting for a bricklink order for the chip shop parts. So there's not a lot I can do there. All I've really got the parts for at the moment is the retaining walls and the train track. So I guess they're the two things. You can see I've got loads more grey brick down there as well. So lots of stuff there. Don't currently have any other modulars I'm planning on putting in, although I have just taken delivery of one of these, which may well be making its way into the city at some point as well. And then obviously we've got the 1st of August quickly approaching, where we get the tram, so we can put the tram in on this level and move the train up to the top level, get them both set up with pie bricks and have them both set up on random intervals, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, everything coming along very, very nicely. Please continue to use the comment section with your recommendations, your tips, your ideas. So much of the stuff that you put in the comment section then makes it into the city, and it is very helpful. It's like a brainstorming session. That's what this video is, a Lego City brainstorming session. And of course, if you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.